France, these unrest in France, these riots are unlike anything we've seen. Riot, and this comes to us from Reuters. France unrest, riot spread, thousands march in memory of shot teenager. And as I said, this is Reuters. Protesters set up barricades, burn cars, ransack bank. France deploys 40,000 police officers. Officer charged with shooting 17-year-old in Paris suburbs. It's all crazy. It's all unnecessary violence. Nanterre, France, June 29. President Emmanuel Macron vowed to contain a mounting crisis on Thursday after unrest erupted for a third day over the deadly police shooting of a teenager of North African descent during a traffic stop in a Paris suburb. Protesters set several cars alight in Nanterre, a working-class town on the western outskirts of Paris, following a largely peaceful street march in memory of the 17-year-old who was shot dead there on Tuesday. Television images showed protesters setting up road barricades and hurling projectiles at lines of police who fired tear gas back. At least one bank was ransacked. And I was doing some research on Twitter last night. Apparently, these people got their hands on military grenades. And that's coming from down on the ground. I'm not making this up. I'm just reporting what I'm seeing from the French people. They are absolutely terrified. They have not seen anything like it. Earlier, Macron held a crisis meeting with senior ministers over the shooting. Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne afterward dismissed calls from some political opponents for a state of emergency to be declared. Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin said 40,000 police officers would be deployed across the country, nearly 4 times the number mobilized on Wednesday, including 5,000 in the Paris region in a bid to quell unrest. So they have to deploy 40,000 police officers. This is absolutely wild. The response of the state must be extremely firm, Darmanin said, speaking from the northwest town of Mons-Beaulieu, where several municipal buildings were set alight. The incident has fed long-standing complaints of police violence and systemic racism inside law enforcement agencies from rights groups within the low-income, racially mixed suburbs that ring major cities in France. The local prosecutor said the office involved has been put under formal investigation for voluntary homicide. Under France's legal system, being placed under formal investigation is akin to being charged in Anglo-Saxon jurisdictions. The public prosecutor considers that the legal conditions for using weapons have not been yet. Pascal Prachi, the prosecutor, told a news conference. A video shared on social media verified by Reuters shows 2 police officers beside a Mercedes AMG car, with one shooting at the teenager at close range as he pulled away. He died shortly after from his wounds. Again, tragic. It seems unnecessary, but more information needs to come out. Like, the police officer didn't just feel, I assume the police officer didn't just, like, he had to have a reason for wanting to do this. The officer has acknowledged firing a lethal shot, the prosecutor said, telling the investigators he wanted to prevent a car chase, fearing he or another person would be hurt after the teenager allegedly committed several traffic violations. So this is what the officer is alleging, that this kid, Nahel M, as he's being known as, allegedly committed several traffic violations and was refusing orders. And I mean, I guess he has a justification. It's just a shame that there couldn't be more done that would lead to this. The Nantia prosecutor said Nahel was known to police for previously failing to comply with traffic stop orders. So this is apparently a repeat offense, and I don't think that he should have been killed. I think it's terrible that he was killed, but I think there could have been more done. Macron said on Wednesday said the shooting was unforgivable as he convened his emergency meeting. He also commented on the unrest. As at a march in Nanterre in memory of Nahel, participants rallied against what they perceived as a culture of police impunity and a failure to reform law enforcement in a country that has experienced waves of rioting and protests over police conduct. We demand that the judiciary does its job, otherwise we'll do it all way, a neighbor of Nahel's family told Reuters at the march. Thousands on the streets, running atop a flatbed lorry. The teenager's mother waved to the crowd wearing a t-shirt reading "Justice for Nahel" with the date of his death below. The unrest has revived memories of riots in 2005 that consoled France for 3 weeks and forced then President Jacques Chirac to declare a state of emergency. Sorry for if I'm pronouncing anything wrong. That wave of violence erupted in a Paris suburb of Clichy-sous-Bois and spread across the country following the death of 2 young people electrocuted in a power station as they hid from police. The 2 officers were acquitted in a trial 10 years later. Tuesday's killing was the 3rd fatal shooting during traffic stops in France so far in 2023, down from a record 13 last year, a spokesman for the National Police said. There were such killings in 2021 and there were 3 such killings in 2021 and 2 in 2020, according to a Reuters tally, which showed the majority of victims since 2017 were Black or of Arab origin. Imra Kartim, a local councillor in La Mise, northeast of Paris, said people's patience was running thin. We've experienced this injustice many times before, she said. So, and that was the goal. Again, I think it's tragic. I don't think this kid should have been shot. I think, but I don't think the officer just woke up that day and said, I'm just going to shoot a teenager. I think there had to be some sort of reason. There had to be something. There's always got to be some sort of reason. And this is an officer. There's supposed to go through background checks. And as you can see, all across France. And we also have this video from yesterday in Toulouse, in southern France. But what do you guys think? What's your opinion on this? Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.